Thank you for joining us for another tip of the week. I'm Trey Gnewikow here at Forest Hills Golf Course. Now we're down on the range. This time you can see we added some dividers for the safety of the players and stuff. We hit a lot of range balls out here. There's a lot of things you can work on our range. We're primarily off of mats, but that works really good with having a perfect lie every time and then getting some pretty good turf interaction as far as you're going to have a golf ball that comes out solid a lot of the time. So you're able to learn a lot from that and get a pretty good feel of where your swing is at going into the summer. Today we're going to do just the basics. Almost think of the golf swing or the setup before you hit a golf swing like you're preparing for takeoff on the runway. We need to check a lot of boxes before we can take a full swing. And the goal would be making it really easy to do so. So I like to have a couple different standards. So when you get set up to a golf ball, you always want to look at the lie. When you're on the range out here, obviously you get a perfect lie. When you're on the course, you might be in the fairway, the rough, the sand, or something different. So just analyzing what situation your ball's in, to pick a correct shot to get set up for, to do from there. One thing we always want to do is make sure our stance is good. I give lessons to a lot of beginners, and they tend to be very wide, or they tend to be very narrow. And we want to be something in between. For anyone who can jump, for anyone who's done any kind of lifting, any other sports of any kind, we want our stance to be just outside shoulder width. What I tend to tell people, because a lot of people struggle with finding just outside shoulder width, is if you were to make your highest jump that you could make from a standing, that's what your stance should be. Obviously, if I'm too wide, I can't jump very good here, and if I'm too narrow, I can't jump very good here. So it's finding that in between where you feel really powerful into the ground and you feel really comfortable to find that stance. As we get set up with that, I like going my feet together. We want to, most of the time, put the ball in the middle of our stance. So I like putting the feet together, take a little step out to where I feel comfortable, where I feel powerful. The next thing we want to make sure of is our grip. So we really want to grip the club in our fingers. A lot of people like to grip in their palms and they kind of get all over the place. You don't have a lot of club control. We want to grip it in our fingers. So you want to kind of lay it against your fingers and put your thumb over top, and lay it in your fingers and put your thumb over top. It's almost like we were made to golf, because the left thumb, if you're a righty, fits perfectly in the palm of your right hand. It's a perfect fit. It feels good. If you're a lefty, same thing. You're putting your right hand on first and your left hand over the top. And that right thumb fits right in the middle of your palm, all perfect. So either way, whether right-handed or left-handed, the grip is pretty much the same thing, just mirror. A lot of people like to do different grips like interlock and overlap. The goal of this is basically to make our hands feel like one working unit. If you, what they traditionally call baseball grip or 10-finger grip, sometimes you can get the hands working against each other. So we want to interlock or overlap if you can, but most importantly, do what's comfortable, do what doesn't hurt your hands, because a lot of people get blisters golfing, and we don't want that. So then once we're all set up, we kind of go through our checklist. Okay, is my stance good? Is it in the middle of my stance? And now I check my grip, make sure my grip is good. From there, it's just a swing. They kind of call it the swing circle. The club head of mine makes a full circle here, and it goes around. So as we take it back, we just want to reach back. You'll see my left arm stays nice and straight. As I get to the top, it might bend a little bit, but the left arm mostly stays straight. If you're a lefty, then your right arm stays mostly straight. So it kind of works out both ways. That allows us to get to the top of our swing, and then just literally let your arm fall and hit it from there. Sometimes I can do this really good. It's a lot. That right hand is just kind of your guide hand. So you can get to the top with your left hand, and then you just basically let your arms fall. And then that'll add to the consistent strike. One thing a lot of people do is tempo. So you don't want to take it back super fast and swing slow, and you don't want to take it back super slow and swing fast. So it's finding a tempo that you really, really like. A lot of pros are 3-to-1, meaning it takes 3 counts to take your swing back and 1 count to swing it through. So a lot of people with band might know a little bit of count stuff. That's all just tempo stuff. So it's finding something that you can repeat more than anything. So as I get set up to hit this ball, I get all set up, my weight is good, my stance is good, my grip is good. Now I can comfortably swing it. And then hopefully have a pretty good strike from there. And you'll see the result. As you practice, you only get more comfortable. But it's finding that same thing that you can repeat with grip, stance, setup to get something maybe to work off of. That way you can learn from misses, but also learn from great hits to repeat it and keep it going and have fun out here. Thanks for joining us. Come back next week for another tip of the week.